Hi, my name is Jennifer Terri. I make Philippine Travel Updates. Welcome to my channel. Today is November 24. What's going on, Jennifer? What are the updates on the Philippines? To 23 pala. Yesterday, the Philippines fully adopted alert level system. So, no more GCQ, MGCQ, SHIZCQ. Wala na yun siya, guys. We are on alert level system because our vaccination rate is increasing. More people are getting vaccinated in the Philippines. So, we're adopting this alert level system, which is better, more loose, less restrictions, more movement. Another thing is Philippines will start administering booster shot because we know that the vaccine is not forever. I heard 6 to 8 months and then the effectivity starts to wane. Our vulnerable sectors, senior citizens, healthcare workers, people with comorbidities, pwede na po magpa-booster shot if you received at least 6 months of your second dose, yan. Or at least 3 months if it was J&J, Johnson. While about travel cap, we thank the efforts of our Department of Transportation and Philippine Airlines for, opening up other regional airports. You know that, diba, Bohol, Panglao recently opened for international flights. Pero limited flights lang yan ha. Davao operates international flights. Clark, Subic, Lawag, yan guys, these airports are used as backup airports. We hear of travelers sinasabi, my flight is rerouted to Davao. It's nothing new. More than thousands of Filipinos umuwi na reroute. This is the effort of the airlines na instead of canceling, you just reroute. Of course, you always have the option to rebook kung ayaw mong ma-reroute. But guys, if you are rerouted, the protocol is the same. Kahit mag-land ka sa Manila or sa Lawag or sa Subic, it's the same. Kung 6 days yung quarantine mo kasi fully vaccinated ka from yellow country, it's the same kung mag-land ka man sa Bohol or kahit saan. So it's the same po. The only difference is Cebu. Cebu has swab upon arrival. That's the only difference. But anyways, another thing is travel cap. Since many countries na nga where there are a lot of Filipinos ay green country na like Saudi, UAE, Japan, Department of Secretary of Tourism confirmed in an interview with PTV that Greenlist travelers are not included in the travel cap. So meaning, if let's say flights coming from Saudi, majority of them, of course, coming from Saudi, fully vaccinated, hindi na siya kinakount sa travel cap. Which is nga, the good news is that local carriers, PAL and Cebu Pacific, announced that they will add more flights from Middle East in the next 2 weeks because nga approved na that many countries from Middle East like UAE, Saudi, major countries for OFWs, green list. So, no need na mag-quarantine. So, hindi na sila i-include sa travel cap na counting, which is good because we can accommodate more Filipinos na uuwi. While there is also, according to a source, that they already increased the travel cap. Let's wait for official announcement. But currently, Manila has 4,000 travel cap. They're targeting to increase that into 6,000 and then 4,000 for the rest for Cebu, Clark, yan Subic, Panglao, Davao, share. So let's push that. And then I want to emphasize this because one traveler, our subscriber, shared this also. They went home. They recently umuwi lang. If your flight po, do not book for flights all the way to your final destination. So for example, I'll share my own experience. I booked my flight coming from Sydney, Australia to Cebu. I did not book for my Sydney to Davao agad kasi I know that I will quarantine first in Cebu. So do not book your flight all the way to your final destination. Especially yellow country ka. Unless green country, okay lang. If you're fully vaccinated with a negative test result kasi green country, they can go straight. But it's still good that you give allowance ha. Make sure you give allowance. Hindi yung 30 minutes lang tapos agad domestic flight. Wag din ganon. Kasi may mga etchos pa sa airport. But anyways, going back, do not book your flight, all the way to your final destination because you will have to quarantine first in your first port of entry. So for example, one kababayan shared that Please include in your reminder. Kung ang final destination mo is not Manila but you bought a ticket direct to your final destination, be sure you have to clarify with PAL. And maybe the best thing to book after you quarantine, because you have to clearly communicate with PAL. Why? My relative from LA was assured that PAL would book his flight after the quarantine. What happened was that they told him that no show na siya kasi when he arrived in Manila, dapat connecting flight to the province. Nung tumawag siya sa PAL for his flight, no show na siya. At sinabi pa, maapektuhan ang return flight niya. So, yan guys, of course, I sometimes hindi reliable yung call center sa airlines. This is why it's still best to avoid booking your flight all the way to your final destination. Dapat mag-book ka lang sa first port of entry. Separate booking na yung domestic flight to avoid these things, you know, to avoid having to call your airline. It's just best to separate na lang. It's also less worry for you. Another note that our subscriber also shared from Grace. If you're, I'll just put it in English. If you're from a Greenlist country and you're going home with your foreign husband, foreign wife or spouse, anyone, foreigner. I'm speaking for any foreigner with visa, okay, or covered by Balikbayan privilege. If you're from a green country, make sure you have a negative test result, because even if you're fully vaccinated, you're coming from a green country, but you have no negative test result, when you arrive in the Philippines, you are going to a hotel quarantine. So it's definitely not worth it. Get tested before arriving in the Philippines. Otherwise, you'll go to a hotel quarantine. But I understand, like Grace shared that, let's see. It's very RT-PCR test in Japan is very expensive. 5 lapad, 22,000 pesos daw ang RT-PCR test sa Japan. Ay, grabe ang mahal. So if there are 2 people, 44,000. Kaya it's already equivalent to hotel quarantine. Kung may anak na buong pamilya, mag-isip-isip ka na yan. Sayang ang pera. So, ay naku, ang mahal naman ng RT-PCR test sa Japan. 22 kaya, ay grabe siya. So, that's the thing, no? Sometimes hotel quarantine is cheaper than the test itself. This sucks. So, just a reminder and a warning for anyone from green country. If you're a foreigner and you don't have a negative test result, they will put you in hotel quarantine for 6 days. While if you're a Filipino, fully vaccinated from a green country, test upon arrival. So, pwedeng sa first day or sa second day or third day ka na i-test. So, shorter. So, yun yung disparity. Yeah, that's the only disparity with green country. If you're foreigner, they will put you in quarantine for 6 days. But if you're a Filipino, they will test you upon arrival. I never understood why the difference. That's it. I don't think it's fair. Anyways, another update. If you arrived po before November 20, hindi ka na maka-avail ng shorter quarantine for yellow country. This was shared in a group reply by the Toxicare Testing Center. And this is also a reminder for those with domestic flights, sa mga uuwi pa po sa province, especially non-OFWs. OFWs okay lang because everything is free for them. The government will accommodate them for their domestic flight. Pero non-OFWs, okay, we carry ourselves, we pay for everything on our own. Reminder that domestic flights in the Philippines, some routes do not operate daily. Like for example, Thomas shared, my dual citizen Filipina and I are in our 4th day of quarantine in Manila, flying from the US. Besides all the hassle in getting here, two things came up that made our scheduling difficult, and maybe you can warn others. Normally, there's a flight every day from Manila to Bacolod, but they changed it to Monday and Friday after we received our ticket, so we have to wait around 3 days after quarantine unnecessarily before catching a flight there. The other is needing to apply for an S-Pass. So more documentation. So we are quickly working with our daughter that are getting our necessary documentation and local requirements. So please be aware of the domestic flight schedule, so that you're not surprised that you have to extend another day in Manila or wherever you are quarantining. And also another note, be aware of the requirements of your final destination. while you are in quarantine or even before traveling to the Philippines, you should look at the requirements of your local government, because some of them have their own requirements, and the best place to look for the requirements is SPAS. So there is a website, okay, you write the place where you are going, and then it shows what are the requirements, whether you need it or not. So for example, here in Davao, we don't use SPAS, you just need Davao QR code, that's it. So other areas need SPAS. So yun lang naman. But if you have a child who is under 9, they don't need SPAS. And thank you for travelers who share their experience. It really helps others. And if you have anything to add here, comment down below and we'll share it for others to learn as well. So see you guys with another travel update. Anyone here na uuwi this Christmas? Yan. Stay safe po and God bless you. Bye.